Two big events are happening on May 27th with a new Sony State of Play and a new Sonic event. A big fighting franchise that I absolutely love is coming back, and finally, there's some new Zelda rumors for the Legend of Zelda 35th anniversary that I definitely want to talk about. What's going on, guys? I'm RGT85. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and be sure to like and share the video. But without any further ado, let's talk about what's going on in the world of video games. So May 27th is quickly becoming like pre-E3 before E3. Obviously, there's going to be lots of fun stuff to cover during the E3 season, and I guess Summer Games Fest as well to some degree. But obviously, a lot of people are looking to a return to form for E3 and just events in general. But two events are actually happening on the 27th that are arguably just as big as like E3 related events. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel because we're going to be covering a ton of stuff here for E3 on the channel. And plus, we're getting close to 400,000, and when we hit that, I'll be doing yet another giveaway. But the first event I want to talk about is a Sony State of Play event happening on May 27th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, the main focus of this State of Play event is going to be on Horizon Forbidden West. There's going to be about 14 minutes of Horizon Forbidden West gameplay at this event, and this is going to be very interesting to see. Now, you might remember Horizon Forbidden West is still scheduled for a 2021 release. Some people had doubts on whether or not that was actually going to happen, but I think if they're showing 14 minutes of gameplay pre-E3, I think it's definitely a lock for 2021 now, and this will be captured on the PlayStation 5. So you're going to see the premiere version of this game. A lot of people are concerned that there is a PlayStation 4 version of the game in development. Will that hinder development? I guess we will find out very soon because we're getting 14 minutes of Horizon Forbidden West gameplay. Now, the original Horizon game, I liked it a lot. I just thought the melee combat was kind of, not there, and I felt like it should have been a little bit more of a focus instead of just the arrow system and all of that sort of stuff. I did like the combat, but I would have liked to have seen a little bit more refinement in the combat as far as the hand-to-hand stuff was concerned. So hopefully there is a bit of a stronger emphasis on melee combat this time around, but I really enjoyed the world that they crafted. The visual style of the game is absolutely gorgeous. Now, it does sort of have that AAA PlayStation sort of graphical template to it. Games like Days Gone, Uncharted, God of War, Horizon, the first game, they obviously, use some of the same similar assets and some of the same color schemes and whatnot, but I think this game is going to be very cool. I like the underwater stuff that they sort of teased as well with this, and there's actually going to be 6 minutes of other stuff at this event. Judging by the Ratchet and Clank presentation that we just got, I'm keeping my expectations pretty low for whatever the other 6 minutes of stuff is, but this should be a very interesting presentation. Like I said, this State of Play event will be happening on May 27th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be doing a reaction video to it because, like I said, I am interested in Horizon Forbidden West. I think this is going to be a big game, and we might even get like a release date for this game at this presentation as well. Not to be outdone, though, on May 27th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, Sonic the Hedgehog is getting his own event for his 30th anniversary. And it looks like it's going to be a Nintendo Direct style Sonic event where we're going to learn about new stuff. According to the tweet, we are going to be tuning in at 9 p.m. Pacific Time or 12 p.m. Eastern Time for a first look at some of the projects, partnerships, and events for our Sonic 30th celebration. So I'm very excited for this. It's Sega. It's Sega, so you got to keep expectations in line, but I still love Sega at the end of the day. I'm just highly critical of them because I love them. I want to see them come to fruition and come to greatness again, and there's a lot of things you can do with Sonic the Hedgehog. There's been a lot of rumors floating around out there as well as to what sort of games we can expect to see at this. Now, I'm definitely keeping my expectations in line, like I said, but there's been heavy rumors about a new Sonic game compilation. Now, these used to be, pretty common, like back on the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube especially. You got tons of Sonic collections. You got like the Sonic Mega Collection and then the Sonic Gems Collection, which I still have both of those, and they're awesome things because they're great collections of random Sonic games, games like Sonic R and Sonic the Fighters and stuff like that. So I really dig stuff like that, and I think that would be good to bring them out on modern platforms. Allegedly, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which is the game that hasn't been on any compilations as of late because of the musical licensing issues with Michael Jackson and his estate. Yes, Michael Jackson worked on the music for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. It's like the worst kept secret in video game history, and that's why you don't see it re-released with all the other Sonic compilations and all the Sega compilations in general. It seems like there's rumors that that has actually been cleared up, so Sonic the Hedgehog 3 might actually be returning to these compilations. Now, of course, you got to think about other things. There's been Sonic Colors HD, which has been heavily rumored. I swear to God, they better have that pop punk theme song still in the game, because that was like one of my favorite things about the game. But that's something that's definitely on the table. Could we even see a Sonic Colors 2 to go alongside of that? Maybe release Sonic Colors HD first and then release Sonic Colors 2. Obviously, Sonic Colors is a game that a lot of people liked. It was a great game. It felt like Sonic the Hedgehog, but it had a few new things in it as well to sort of expand upon it. And then, of course, you gotta wonder, Sonic Adventure 3. Could we finally see this game? Look, the Sonic Adventure games are awesome. I don't care. There's a lot of revisionist history with Sonic Adventure, especially the first Sonic Adventure, because the first Sonic Adventure, has it aged all that gracefully? I mean, not really, but you could still play that game on the Dreamcast and be like, holy crap, this game looks really good still. You can play it on the GameCube or whatever other systems it re-released on, and just, you know, it's an enjoyable game. It's a really good game. Sonic Adventure 2, same sort of thing. It's a very enjoyable game, and I think Sonic Adventure 3 would be awesome. Sonic Adventure still has that great name to it. Look at the review scores for Sonic Adventure when it first came out. It got a lot of 9s and 10s, and I think this could be a game that brings Sonic back to relevancy and prevalence. Obviously, the movie did very well for Sonic the Hedgehog as far as his identity and optics are concerned, so this is something very exciting for me. These two events are going to be awesome. I'm going to be covering both of them with my reactions to them, and hopefully they don't disappoint. If one has to disappoint, please let it be the State of Play, because I want Sonic to come back. Speaking of Sega, they announced another game, and it's actually coming out next week on June 1st, and that is Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. Now, this makes me happy. I love Virtua Fighter. I got my Retro Tink 5X in, and I've been playing Virtua Fighter 2 and Fighters Megamix a lot on my Sega Saturn because it looks absolutely gorgeous on my HD TV. But this is awesome. Like, this is what they should be doing. Now, of course, there is a major problem with this game. It is a PlayStation 4 exclusive, and it's like, what are you doing here, Sega? This should be on everything. This should be on the PlayStation, the Xbox, and the Nintendo Switch. Now, recently, Sega has stated that they're looking at more multi-platform releases. Maybe this game was in development before the whole multi-platform thing, which is honestly a shame because Virtua Fighter is a fantastic fighting franchise. It's definitely easy to get into, but hard to master, and that's what I like about it. It's going to have updated visuals. It's using the Dragon engine. It's developed by developers from Sega AM2 and RGG Studio. There's new background music for every stage, a new UI, a new opening cinema, and new online features. Now, like I said, this game's actually coming out on June 1st, so like a couple days from now, and there are heavy rumors that this could potentially be a PlayStation Plus game as well, which would kind of make sense if it is a PlayStation Plus game as to why it is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. But this, I don't care if it is or if it isn't, I'm going to be buying this because it's Virtua Fighter. This is a chance for Virtua Fighter fans to show that this is a series that people love. Virtua Fighter is amazing. It is the grandfather of 3D fighting games. It is one of the best 3D fighting franchises of all time, and people have forgotten about it. Well, wake up! Because Virtua Fighter's coming back. It's coming back next week. And finally, Zelda. Zelda's been a hot topic on this channel lately. I've had to sort of rake the Legend of Zelda over the coals a little bit, but I do it with love, just like I do it with Sega and Sony and Microsoft. I want all these companies to do great, and when they do something stupid or something that I just disagree with, I'm going to call it out. And of course, the Skyward Sword amiibo situation has just been absolutely terrible, but obviously, this isn't going to be the only Legend of Zelda stuff that we're going to see in 2021. Many people are anticipating a 35th anniversary celebration similar to what we saw with Super Mario because, well, it just makes sense. If Nintendo goes out of their way to do something for Super Mario's 35th anniversary, I think they're obviously going to do something for The Legend of Zelda because they seem to like Zelda stuff and Zelda re-releases and compilations more so than Mario games. I mean, just look throughout history with all of the different sort of special things that the Nintendo has done for The Legend of Zelda franchise. It seems like they lean more towards The Legend of Zelda. Well, there's some new rumors floating around that I want to cover. Now, these rumors are coming to us from a YouTube channel called Game Over Jesse. Now, if you've ever been over on Jesse's channel, you would know one thing. that those people over there, they're all about Zelda. Like, I don't know if they know about like other video games and know that other video games exist, but like everything they do is Zelda related, which they're just super hardcore, like super into timelines and stuff like that. So shout out to Jesse and his crew over there. If you are a Zelda fan, you'll probably want to go ahead and check out his channel. I'll have a link to it in the description box down below, because those people are all Zelda all the time. Well, they recently released a video and there were some interesting things about the Legend of Zelda 35th anniversary. I'm not going to talk about all the things they talked about in that video. It is their latest video though, so make sure you guys check that out. But two things really stood out to me. One of the things was that we're going to see more crossover collaborations with the Legend of Zelda, sort of like we saw with Cadence of Hyrule. And one of the things that was talked about was actually Monster Hunter Rise. And I got to thinking, like, that would be dope as hell, and it would make perfect sense. Even looking at the Legend of Zelda stuff beyond Cadence of Hyrule, of course, Zelda stuff was in Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch version of the game, where you got the Breath of the Wild tunic and the Master Sword and things like that, and it was a really cool thing. And supposedly, there's going to be like armor sets based on the Legend of Zelda included in a update for Monster Hunter Rise, and even potentially monsters from the Legend of Zelda included as monsters to fight in Monster Hunter Rise as well. And Monster Hunter Rise, like, it's a console exclusive for the Nintendo Switch. It's coming out onto Steam next year, but this is something I think would be really, really cool. Now, take this all at a grain of salt. This is just something that they have heard about sort of a little bit loosey-goosey, but I think this is something that really makes sense and would really be awesome, because now you have Zelda fans who would want to pick up this game. Even though this game has sold ridiculously well, it's still my game of the year thus far. Monster Hunter Rise, that is. Just a fantastic game. I absolutely loved it. But doing something like this, I think would be really cool, and I think it's something that kind of makes sense as well, because Nintendo and Capcom are starting to get very cheeky. Look at how Resident Evil 8 sold in Japan right now, and you can see Capcom's probably not too happy about the sales of the game in Japan, especially on the PlayStation brand, because they used to be their big partner. So this is a way for the Legend of Zelda to sort of mend a bridge with Capcom and make Capcom become a better partner with Nintendo. Now, the second thing that they talk about is something that seems to be a little bit more concrete. They've heard it from several different sources, independent sources, even Game Explain was talking about this as well on their channel, and that is the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time HD is indeed a thing. It looks like it might be being done by Grezzo, who of course brought over the games to the Nintendo 3DS, and they recently did Miitopia, and it kind of seems like Grezzo's probably working on something else besides Miitopia. Obviously, Miitopia isn't, you know, a huge sort of project like this, but the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time HD, I think would be great. Like, yes, we got an upgraded visual version of the game on the Nintendo 3DS, and really, it's the best version of the game thus far. You know, when you go back and play the N64 version of the game, it definitely starts to show its age a bit. You got to use the N64 controller unless you get one of those Retro Fighters controllers for the N64, which are absolutely awesome. But then you got to factor in the graphics and stuff as well. This is a game that will look beautiful in HD, and I don't know the level that Nintendo is willing to go with this though, because that's really something that's going to be up in the air. Would it be something like Super Mario 64 with just a slight upscaling like we saw on the Nintendo Switch, or would this be like something more from the ground up, you know, actually redoing all the textures in the game, actually redoing the visuals in the game to make it an HD looking game? I think it's a game you could do that. You could put that time and effort into it, and the results would be great, because the game would sell extremely well, especially if you included some additional content in there as well. Imagine if they included like a new dungeon or something like that, or even like a mini dungeon in the game, and then had these HD visuals and stuff like that. Like, it would absolutely blow people's minds. Like, people would be stabbing each other to get this game, I feel, and I would be the one out there with a shank, like, get away from me. I need my Zelda Ocarina of Time. Like, I have so much nostalgia for that game. I remember my mother ordered it from Nintendo Power, and I had a Nintendo Power subscription, and I came home from school one day when I was like 12 or 13, and there was a package from Nintendo at the front door, and I was like, the hell is this? And I went and I opened it, and it was the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, like the gold shiny box edition, and I was like, Nintendo sent this to me for free because I'm a subscriber, and I was so excited. I called my mom up at work. I was like, yo, they sent me Zelda, and she was like, you're an idiot. I bought that for you. You weren't supposed to open it. And I was like, oh, well, I already opened it, so can I keep it? And she was like, yeah, whatever. So, you know, that would be absolutely awesome, and I think it's something that we need to see. Obviously, Zelda's 35th anniversary is a very exciting time. I feel like we're going to learn about it more during E3, but yeah, an HD version of Ocarina of Time and the potential for more collaborations, I think would be a very good thing. All right, so that's what's going on in the world of video games. I love E3 season. Things are heating up. We're getting all these crazy rumors, crazy leaks, crazy stuff happening, events, and this is great, man. It's great. It's really, for YouTubers, it's Christmas because you got so much stuff to talk about, so much stuff to speculate on as well. So it's just a great feeling. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think of all of this stuff. Which of the two events are you looking forward to the most? Are you going to be checking out Virtua Fighter 5? And what do you want to see from the Legend of Zelda 35th anniversary? And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications if you're new. Like I said, we're going to be doing giveaways for 400K because that's coming up around the corner. We got to cover the Sonic event and the Horizon event on Thursday as well. So Thursday is just going to be a busy ass day. And as always, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.